What's up YouTube? For this video, I want to do a very quick discussion / response to this Reddit post I read earlier today. It was sent by the homie Ben. This post was written by a Redditor. I think he goes by NathanGorgeous, but he did a pretty good job summarizing what Nike has kind of been up to lately. Basically, if you've been living under a rock, Nike has been pursuing this concept of integrating their business model into Web3, Metaverse, creating NFTs, and incorporating blockchain technology into their services. And again, for this discussion, I just want to briefly talk about my impressions on how all of this affects us as consumers and lovers of sneakers. So just a little more backstory that'll make sense out of all of this. Nike recently acquired a company called Artifact. Artifact is like a digital creating company. From my impression, they just create like fashion NFTs in the digital space. But basically, Nike acquired this company specifically for the purpose of being the first sneaker brand to incorporate themselves into the Metaverse, into Web3, and into the future. So fast forward to today, Nike has just posted 10 pairs of Air Force Ones for sale. And these are just no typical pair of Air Force Ones, but rather these are NFT Air Force Ones. Each one of these pairs of Air Force Ones come with like this NFC code or something like that truly verifies and authenticates these pairs based on blockchain technology. So Redditor NathanGorgeous leaves a TLDR section at the very end. I'm just gonna read that real quick. Too long, don't read. He says, Nike is selling 10 new pairs of shoes with an accompanying digital NFT. So the benefits for Nike as a brand, they can track and earn a small percentage on secondhand sales. They have a greater insight into the aftermarket life of each of their products, and it helps them eliminate counterfeiting, and that's huge. As for the benefits to consumers, us, again, eliminates counterfeiting, which I hope we can all agree that that's a big plus. We pay less fees on transactions. So for example, if we do secondhand transactions via the Nike marketplace or something like that, the percentage of transaction fees are a lot smaller than compared to say like StockX, who I believe charges like over 10% these days. And then the acquisition of a digital product that receives support over time. So this is my very rough understanding of this whole Web3 phenomenon. And I just want to think out loud basically and break down my thought process. I'm basically going to explain this in very rough layman's terms because that's pretty much the extent of my knowledge on this whole thing. So I'm really no expert in Web3, nor am I in NFTs, nor am I in blockchain technology. If you want to learn more about that stuff, watch someone else's video. But rather, this is just my impressions on how this whole thing affects me as a consumer and hobbyist of collecting sneakers. So if you're a sneakerhead or really anyone that's into sneakers watching this video, I would think you can agree with me here that there's a huge problem when it comes to counterfeits and fakes. It really is hard these days to know whether your sneakers are authentic. At this point right now, we're pretty much relying on the likes of other companies such as like StockX, GOAT, eBay, and these other third-party authentication companies. We're pretty much relying on them to make sure we receive authentic sneakers in the aftermarket. And if you're familiar with this sneaker game, you know that there's still no foolproof method to authenticate your sneakers quite yet. There's still plenty of fakes running around out there. So Nike's approach for the future, not just for the future of their brand, but for the future of sneakers, is that they're trying to implement blockchain technology to really make sure that all sneakers are able to be authenticated through them. And this is where their collaboration with Artifact comes in. And that is to implement the blockchain technology to make sure they can pretty much track each product as it cycles through consumer to consumer. Basically, you're able to follow each product where it goes, you're able to authenticate each product as it comes to its new owner and things like that. And the long-term vision is that once blockchain technology is really implemented into the Web3 system and into the buying and trading of sneakers, then counterfeiting and fakes will pretty much be completely eliminated. So how does that also affect all the sneakers that you and I currently own? So my concern is that once this whole blockchain technology and NFTs become much more regulated, much more streamlined, and much more popular, it will make the current physical sneakers that you and I have right now possibly inferior or obsolete. So the example right now is this Air Force One that I own is technically one of one, but it does not have the blockchain to back it up. So once blockchain technology becomes more streamlined in the future, who knows that maybe this pair really, no one will care about them anymore, or no one will be able to authenticate them, nor will people really have the desire to care or know. So this Web3 concept is definitely a conversation starter. I really don't see it taking its full effect like what I'm saying anytime soon. But at the same time, who knows? I feel like the future really creeps up on you, and you just never know in 5 or 10 years how much things will change over time. Things are just changing ever so quickly, and no one really ever knows what is to come. So it really will be interesting to see how the sneaker game will change in the next 5 to 10 years, but I would love to know your thoughts. What are your thoughts on the NFTs? Do you own any sneaker NFTs, or do you plan on copying any? Are you at all invested in Web3 yet? I would love to hear about it in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing for more content on style, sneakers, and science. While you're at it, be sure to check out my other videos here or here. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.